Every legend hides an ancient truth, a trace from ancient times that has reached us today. In the darkest corners of human history lie secrets, forbidden tales, and suppressed mysteries. Perhaps it's a shadow that resonates in all of our souls, a pair of eyes watching us from the darkness. Often, we've never heard her name, yet we've felt her presence. Who is this mysterious figure among the shadows? Why have people feared her for thousands of years, whispering her name in hushed tones? This shadowy figure has been deliberately left out of sacred texts for centuries, her stories nearly erased from history. But despite efforts to conceal her, her story has been reborn in various forms, reshaped through the ages, and survives to this day. Perhaps this tale was born out of humanity's deepest fears and desires. And the name of this fearsome tale is Lilith. Lilith is part of a legend that stretches from Mesopotamia to Jewish mysticism. The earliest traces of the name Lilith can be found in the ancient civilizations of Sumer, Babylon, and Assyria. During that period, Lilith, or Lilitu, was associated with wind and storm spirits. These spirits were believed to dwell in places dominated by shadows and darkness. For the people of that time, Lilith symbolized not only a force of nature but also something mysterious and uncontrollable. Lilith was often blamed for illnesses, infant deaths, and inexplicable events that occurred in the dark of night. But Lilith's story doesn't end with the mysterious winds of Mesopotamia. Entering into Jewish mysticism, Lilith takes on a completely different identity. Although she is not mentioned directly in Jewish sacred texts, Jewish folklore and Kabbalistic writings depict her as Adam's first wife. In the creation story of the Torah, God creates man from earth, but this creation story has two different versions. In the first account, God creates humans, male and female, together. This detail forms the foundation of Lilith's story in Jewish mysticism. Like Adam, Lilith was created from the earth at the same time as him. Therefore, she saw herself as his equal. As two beings created equally, Lilith resists Adam's demand for her submission. Adam expects Lilith to serve him, to follow his rules, but Lilith defies this expectation. This conflict over equality leads to Lilith's departure from the Garden of Eden. Lilith's escape makes her one of history's most rebellious, independent, and, at the same time, most ostracized figures. However, Lilith's departure from the garden is not merely an escape, but a defining moment that changes her destiny. According to the legend, her departure disturbs God, who sends 3 angels to bring her back. The angels tell her that she must obey or face divine punishment. But Lilith refuses to return, choosing her own path and deciding to live eternally as a forbidden figure. This choice makes Lilith a fallen figure. In Jewish folklore, she becomes a being who rejected submission to Adam and chose her own dark world. Her decision earns her both independence and a demonic identity. In Jewish tales, Lilith is believed to have united with demons and given birth to children from them, children seen as symbols of Lilith's rage against the human world. Over time, Lilith becomes a figure threatening children and birth itself. She is seen as a child killer, particularly a threat to pregnant women and infants. Throughout the Middle Ages, tales about Lilith in Jewish mystic texts darken her image further. In Kabbalistic texts, Lilith is depicted as a female demon, an antagonist to fertility. During this period, her name frequently appears on amulets used to protect babies. To ward off evil, people would place amulets inscribed with her name over their children's beds. Among the people, she becomes synonymous with fear and darkness. She is no longer just Adam's first wife, but the embodiment of society's fears. Yet, Lilith's legend doesn't end here. For centuries a figure that threatened children and clashed with fertility, Lilith was rediscovered in the 19th and 20th centuries. In modern times, particularly with feminist movements, she came to symbolize repressed femininity. No longer merely a demon, Lilith began to be seen as a figure embodying the independent and free-spirited woman who defied traditional societal roles. In this era, Lilith's name appeared frequently in women's rights protests and campaigns. Her story became a symbol for those challenging the roles imposed on women by society. Today, Lilith is still interpreted in various ways. Some see her as a demon, others as the voice of freedom. Lilith, emerging from the dark pages of history, continues to evolve in the modern mind. She is both a forbidden figure and a symbol of defiance. As a woman who refused to submit to Adam, who is she really? A demon, a goddess, or simply a creation of the human mind? Knowing who she truly is may be nearly impossible, for above all, she is a symbol that challenges society's limits and questions the meaning of freedom. Lilith's story shows us how a legend born from the oldest corners of history can profoundly reflect human nature. This figure from the depths of darkness may still live within each of us as a part that yearns to be free. The legend of Lilith is still full of secrets and remains inaccessible. Since the information we have is limited, it is very difficult to reach her true story. Maybe she is really a legend or a creature that really exists. Who knows, maybe she is walking among us.